Hello guys and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at a scenario where the Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth comes back in 2023. So of course this was ended when the Prussians, Russians, and Austro-Hungarians went in and split it up, but this is about what the land looked like at its territorial height. So let's get right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy. First things first, and that is pick off the smaller countries that have already lost land to you. Estonia, just capture Tallinn and you're fine. From there, the Baltics never really stood a chance. Moldova's weak, but first, this part of Poland, it's done for. Not even gonna map it out because there's nothing to map out. They would most likely just annex it, and this small Polish state that still exists would most likely just unite with the Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth. With this, already they have secured their spot as the number 2, maybe number 3 country in Europe behind Russia and France, or just behind Russia. I'd say they're stronger than France here. But that's only going to grow as they go ahead and declare war on Czechia and on Slovakia. And, they capture Prague, once again, can't pronounce that, but it's there. No idea how to pronounce it, but yeah. Do know it's there, it's captured, and it's right about there. A bit more to the south, even. Really have to learn how to pronounce these capitals, because, well, you can try and name them and say them in the country they're from, but, oh my god. There's always the hard ones. Well, from there, they are going to be declaring war on Ukraine, though. And, yeah, Ukraine here has a lot of random land along the border. They're not going to do great. This is going to be an actual war, but Kiev is gone. They've already pushed way past the Dnieper. And all of these little exclaves of Ukraine are going to be easily captured. From there, what would the capital be here? Maybe like Odessa or... they've lost Lviv. Yeah, let's go ahead and say that it's Odessa to begin with. That's already fallen. In this map, Crimea is a part of them, so maybe Sevastopol could be it. Yeah, that's gone. Well, all of southern Ukraine's gone with a lot of the important cities. Yeah, Ukraine here, you're just... You're gone. Sorry you try to fight, but you've already lost a bunch of land to this new empire, and there's no way you could fight it. Maybe you could pull off what you're doing today with Russia and actually fight back or even win. But I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Well, with that, the Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth has already expanded greatly. They're going to declare war on Moldova next, which is actually going to bring Romania into the war. But they don't really care. In return, they call Hungary and Bulgaria in, and this is just not going to end well for Romania. Bulgarian and Hungarian troops both begin to push out, while the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth just obliterates the country. There is not much else for me to say here. These guys are a major power. But they will not be annexing all of this land, as they have just gotten themselves some allies, thinking it would be good for their global image. And it will be. It definitely will be. With that, they annex about half of Romania and all of Moldova, and the rest of it is split between Hungary and Bulgaria. These new Hungarian borders, I don't think I love them, but you know what? They'll just have to do these new Bulgarian ones. Have this in real life, please. But yeah, Romania is gone. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth now has itself some allies. And this is just not looking good for anyone who isn't the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. It's way too long to say every single time, so I'll just say the PLC, Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, the PLC. Alright. So yeah, they now have some support and a lot of influence in the Balkans. But their main end goal here is to surpass Russia and defeat Russia. Basically just fully securing their global image, their global strength, and their global recognition. Obviously, in real life, this would never hold. There are way too many ethnicities, way too many just different people in here. There are Russians, Ukrainians, Polish, Czech, Slovak. Now there are Romanians. There are Estonians. There's just way too many ethnicities, but we're gonna be setting all of that aside to be able to make them an empire. From there, they declare war on Finland, make a landing in the south, capture a majority of the important land, including Helsinki, and Finland's here just gonna say, you know what? You. And they're gonna leave because Finland's gonna be Finland. They're gonna try and fight it out, but the truth is they're gonna lose. So they're gonna be smart about it and just give up a bit of southern land. Of course, the Polish PLC wants this to give them another front against Russia when that war eventually breaks out. So they annex some lands that may look weird for now, but eventually as they take some more land, it'll start to look normal. So yeah, they are expanding greatly. Their main rival right now is Russia, but you know what? Poland's in here, and they now say, hey, we're a super powerful country. Maybe a global superpower by now, but probably still just a power. I'd only consider China and the USA superpowers, not even Russia. So yeah, now they're going to begin to push into Germany. In real life, Poland is not enough, maybe Czechia, but with all of these countries combined, just looking at the map, you can clearly see who's going to win this. Berlin falls quickly, followed by Hamburg. From there, this is just sad. Well, all of the German coastline's gone. Munich falls, and with it all of Bavaria. Frankfurt's the last one to survive, but soon enough that falls as well. I mean, they still have do they even still have Stuttgart there? No. Honestly, I can keep naming them, taking city after city, but in the end, the Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth here would come out on top. With that, they cement their influence in Western Europe, showing France and the UK that they are willing to go to war with some of these economic powers, and they are willing and able to kill them. With that, they take a good amount of northern Germany, actually a lot of just a ton of the country. Honestly, this would cripple them, but you know what? They'll get some aid. They'll get some aid from France and the UK. They'll live for now. We'll let them live, but yeah, that is absolutely just terrible for the country. Well, that's besides the point. This is a Polish-Lithuanian video, so everyone else is going to get screwed over, and the Polish-Lithuanians are going to be on top. From there, they basically just tell Austria, hey, Austria, give me a bunch of land or I'll come down there, kill you, and take even more land. And the Austrians, not wanting that to happen, give up a bit of land in return for keeping Vienna. City is very close to the border. It sits right about there. So they really don't want a war here, and they just give up a tiny bit of northern land in return for their safety. From there, a new alliance is formed up from what's left of Germany, France, the UK, Italy, what's left of Austria, the Benelux, and yeah, they just don't want to die. From there, the Polish-Lithuanians are going to attack and annex Denmark, and also attack Sweden, which may be a stupid move here, but you know what, they're gonna go ahead and do it anyways, because as I said, they need to grow in strength enough to take on Russia, which here Russia has lost some land, but not enough to cripple them. Or at least not as completely and entirely as the Ukrainians. From here, as I said, they're going to be declaring war on Sweden, but Sweden is also not a dumb country by any means, and as the Polish-Lithuanians start to make multiple landings, they're going to realize that they can't win this, and their best hope is just to surrender, and basically just say, okay, take my land, but don't destroy my cities. The strategy they're going here is I'm going to lose some land, but at least I can rebuild as I won't have to start from scratch. Sadly for them, a majority of their very important land is taken, and all that's left is a whole lot of nothing. So I don't know if that really worked out for them. As I said, they lost a lot of their important land that is necessary for their survival. But you know what, maybe they'll do something with Norway and what's left of Finland to survive. From there, this country is now going to basically say, Hungary, Bulgaria, join me or I'll kill you too. They both accept. They're going to say, okay, anyone else want to join? And the usual contenders are going to be there, aka Japan. So yeah, whenever I have like an empire or a returning empire, trying to kill Russia, Japan is normally one of the countries that joins in to help them out and get some land in the process. Some other countries that want it could include Georgia and Turkey. This may actually spark a war with Iran, so let's leave Turkey out, but they could definitely join in real life, although I don't want to expand this into a whole Middle Eastern war, then move into Central Asia, East Asia, and eventually World War. I just don't want to start a massive global conflict because that's a video of itself, and honestly, this should be enough to stop them. So, they declare war on Russia. And, I mean, Russia might get some help, but for here, either we're going to assume that they cut ties with a lot of countries, or just that they physically cannot get anybody to help them. If you do think that in real life Russia would get like Iran or China to help them in this war, well, you two are no longer friends, and you two are no longer friends. I meant you two. So yeah, we might have to twist a bit of things to allow the Polish Lithuanians to win this, but of course it is their video, so they are going to be ultimately winning. From there, they begin to push out in a couple points, one over here in the Finnish land they took, one in the Baltics, and another one around the Black Sea to meet up with Georgia. Of course, Russia is just gonna go down to Georgia, blow some stuff up, and obliterate the country. But don't worry, the PLC is coming soon, and they'll save you eventually, you know? They then start a massive all-out campaign across the entire border, wanting Russia to die. They cut them off from the Black Sea except for their Georgian land, and then they go in and recapture all that Georgian land. They recapture Tbilisi? How do you pronounce the Georgian capital? It's like Tbilisi. That's what I'm going to call it. Hopefully that's how you pronounce it. It's probably not, though. They then begin to push out from Georgia, attempting to encircle all of southern Russia. They managed to do what Germany could not and successfully encircle all that region and then push out all across the border. They're nearing Moscow as they got some land near the city, and St. Petersburg has now been encircled and is on the brink of collapse. This happens, and the Russians are pretty much cut off from the coast, but that's going to be set in stone, as now the Japanese are beginning their own invasions over here in the east. Russia here, they didn't dedicate nearly enough troops to stop the Japanese, as they thought that controlling the west would be more important. Of course it is, but they still lose like Vladivostok and any other important cities in the region. They then lose a good amount of Siberia and some other islands, until eventually they make a front line with the few divisions they have. Of course, literally 2 days after they make this front line, it is broken by the Japanese, as once again Russia has not nearly enough divisions over here to stop the full Japanese might. They continue to push into the east, until eventually, there's nothing else useful to take around here. They make a massive campaign around the Sea of Okhotsk, and they just cut off all Russian access to it. Main goal here, just hurt the Russians as much as you can. This wasn't too important of a body of water, but it's still annoying for the Russians. There's some fishing there, and I mean, you might think that they still have a massive coastline up here in the north, which they do, but this is all Arctic, and if Japan, they don't really have to do this, but just for good measure, they do. Yeah, Russia, once again, it may look like they still have a very sizable coastline. This is all Arctic. This all cannot be used for trading and whatnot. From there, all of southern Russia is obliterated by the PLC and the Georgians. Moscow was just captured. And Russia here, Russia's gone. Russia at this point sees no point in fighting. Most of their important cities and land has been taken. They might have to push all the way to the Urals, but actually the Urals are not exactly right there. They're more over here, but for this scenario, we're going to assume that they don't have to do that. So let's go ahead and draw in these final borders, and we can see what the PLC here has done with the world. They're going to be reconnecting their two halves and cutting Russia into multiple pieces, wanting to hurt the country as much as they possibly can. They no longer want any threats in the region, and of course the United States is considering a new alliance with France and Britain. But besides that, the entirety of Europe and a good amount of Asia is just theirs. Theirs, which they can do anything they want with. So yeah, they've taken a good amount of land out of Russia, whilst the rest is either puppeted or given a new country of independence. Yeah, Russia here. Let's go ahead and split them into two. This is just Siberia and Russia. And maybe we'll split them into more, but honestly, Siberia is too weak as it is, so I don't think they could survive losing any more land. Japan is going to take a lot of eastern Russia and a good amount of Siberia. But, I mean, this isn't very important. It's this which is a lot more important. But honestly, I think I've done enough talking. Let's just finish this up, show you the new borders, and we can end it there. On a global stage at this point, the Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth, would they rival the influence of the United States of America? Possibly. I doubt anyone could ever rival the insane amount of influence the US holds over the world right now, but in certain regions I'd say they're rivaling it. They're pretty much just trying their best to, create their own sphere, create their own side in the global conflict between the East and West. Japan, I don't know what side they would choose, the US or Polish Lithuania, because, I mean, they help the Polish Lithuanians, but at the same time, they've been allied for the US for a long time. They'd most likely, in real life, stay with the United States, but in this scenario, we're going to be allying them with the Polish Lithuanians because they need a good ally. Otherwise, they will never even come close to the USA in influence. By other standings, I mean, they're pretty decently large, good population. I'm assuming they've made it to the top 10 on both of those categories, ? Let's go ahead and check Algeria, who is barely in the top 10 by land area. If they're larger than them, then that means they have made it. In the beginning, they were already a respected global country, but at this point, I mean, they have cemented their influence. And I don't think the Germans, Russians, and Austrians can team up to stop them this time. Yeah, no, not a chance. Well, I'm pretty sure that's about it. In size, yeah, they're actually a lot larger than you'd think. Europe is not a very large continent, but they have definitely cemented themselves. They are definitely larger than Algeria. Oh my god, I love these borders. But putting it over the US, it can stretch from coast to coast. Putting it over China, it is a pretty large country, but with that, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.